You're listening to She's Got Drive podcast, the podcast that inspires women to be the driver in their own life through the life and stories of Black women with drive. And I'm your host, Shirley McAlpine. I'm a business consultant, an executive coach, and a leadership facilitator, working with people and organizations to live their lives by design and not default. Welcome back to another episode of She's Got Drive. And in this episode, I am going to be sharing with you the keynote speech that I gave, or kind of session I gave as part of the I Am Mum Summit last month. So I thought that I would post it here on my podcast so that more of you can hear of it. I was invited to participate in this summit, which is aimed at empowering mothers. And I did a session that actually is applicable to anyone, really. I use examples that are applicable to mums, but really and truly the session is applicable to anyone, so I thought it'd be useful to post it. But before we get into that keynote, I wanted to share with you what's been driving me this week. What's been driving me this week is my goal around my health and well-being, and I am working on a whole range of things around my health and well-being. And my approach is to not try and do everything new or consistent at once, but to bring something in and then do that for 2-3 weeks, and then bring something else in 2-3 weeks, and then bring something else in 2-3 weeks. Because I know I've said it before, but in order to develop a habit, we really need to do something consistently for 21 days. So I still do my yoga in the mornings and at least 3 to 4 times a week. I still go to acupuncture once a month at least, if not sometimes a bit more. And so I have this month brought on having a massage. So yes, you heard right. Now, some of you are like, Shirley, I have a massage all the time. I don't. So I'm now going to have a massage at least once a month. But to kick me off, I am doing it for 6 weeks, every 2 weeks, and then doing it once a month. So I am really loving this new self-care practice. I cannot tell you the difference that it's already making, and it's only been week 4, and so I've been twice, and so that has been amazing, the difference that has made. So I'm really excited about that. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, I will start either running, or I plan to get a personal trainer to work out an exercise plan for me to do in the gym, in my gym in the building. So you can see that whenever we're starting something new, whenever we're working on a new goal, that of course we have to have a series of activities that are in our plan, and then we work our plan, of course. But to notice that if I had tried to do everything at the same time, what's likely is I would have got overwhelmed and wouldn't be able to fit it in, and I would have thought it's not worth it, it's too much stress, But really, I am committed to gradually, slowly but surely, putting a plan together, a way of life together that really supports my well-being. I travel a lot. It takes a lot out of me because I travel almost every week for work, and I need to really up my game in this area. And so I'm excited about that, and I'll keep sharing the results. So I'm loving the massage. I'm keeping doing the yoga. I am having my acupuncture regularly, which is kind of just something that I've always done for the last 15 years. So, and now massage. So I recommend that. But I also wanted to share with you one of my listeners of the She's Got Drive podcast, who sent me a message who tagged me really on Instagram, on her self-care share on Instagram, because it was such a demonstration of exactly what I've been speaking about. And I wanted to just share what she said. So she's a declared self-care day is the best, she says. So she's given a couple of tips. Set 2 goals for yourself that focus specifically on self-care. Commit to those goals. She sets the following 2. Read 1 book a month and schedule 1 Saturday each month, known as Duvet Day. Yep, you read that right. I schedule 1 Saturday a month where I have 0 obligations to anything or anyone. For me, that means a mandatory Saturday of no teaching, no working out, no dinner responsibilities or obligations. If I choose to do a light workout, great. If I choose to meet up with friends and have contact with the outside world, great. If I choose to make dinner, cool. I'm sure you get the point. Peeps, this scheduled declared day to myself has been amazing. I've actually been more productive throughout the year, more focused, more driven, and less tired because I know once a month I get a day to myself for myself. #self-care. And so, with a week still left in the month, I've finished April's book and moving on to the next. The last book, Eleanor Oliphant, was an odd one. Good but odd. Anyway, looking forward to the next, and of course, open to recommendations. So by all means, recommend, please. Thank you, Shirley McAlpine, for inspiring me to schedule a #Duvet Day. And that is BB Bellevue. I am so happy that you've taken on the Duvet Days. You have taken it to a whole great level. And in fact, I had never had my Duvet Day on a Saturday before. I've always had them in a weekday. And that's one of the reasons why I struggle to maintain it. So I'm now considering, having been inspired by you, shifting my Duvet Days to a Saturday. So thanks for that. I'd never thought about that, but I usually put it in the weekday. But why not have it on a weekend? Why not? So I recommend that you take yourself on. I hope that's inspired you to take yourself on around your health and well-being. I'll keep sharing my journey around that. And please tag me, DM me, let me know if you're taking on Duvet Days, if you're taking on your self-care at a whole new level, and see, and I'll share with the listeners, with everyone, what you're doing. All right then, great. So now let's move on to my keynote from the I Am Mum Summit. Welcome to I Am Mum Summit. My name is Shirley McAlpine. I am so happy and excited to be part of the I Am Mum Summit about empowering us mums to be the best that we could be in our life. I am a mum of a 15-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son. They are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous children, and I am proud to be their mother. I am a wife. I am of a man called Dan. I am a sister. I am a daughter. I am all of those things. And what I do for my work is I am a coach. I've been a coach for nearly 20 years. I'm a mumpreneur. I work for myself. I've worked for myself for the last 20 years. I've been a facilitator and a consultant for nearly 30 years. And in all that time, I've worked with thousands and thousands of people in the UK, in the US, in Europe, and in parts of Africa and Europe. Yes. So my work has been vast, and I am going to take a part of my experience and bring it to you today. One of the other things that I do is I am a podcaster. I launched my podcast at the Women of the World Festival in 2017 in Harlem, in New York. It is called She's Got Drive, where I interview Black women about their success and how they achieved their success. And through those interviews, we hear inspiring stories from marine biologists to pianists to managing directors in financial services firms to dancers to it's really, really, really wide ranging. I'm at episode 52 this week, and I also bring my own experience of being a coach and bringing models like the conversation that we're going to have today. So that's what I do. You can get She's Got Drive wherever you listen to podcasts, on your podcast app, on your phone. in Google Play, in Stitcher, in SoundCloud. That's where you'll find me. And now I've just started to put it on YouTube, so you can find it any of those places. And I am so proud of that, being a podcaster. It feels like a new thing that I've been doing the last couple of years, which really is a fit for me. So today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to give us the opportunity to stop and reflect about our own lives. And I'm a firm believer in that we live our life by our own design and not by default. We have the ability to create the life that we want. And oftentimes people don't necessarily believe that. Oftentimes people are living the life that they have, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with the life that you have, but is it the life that you want? And I'm committed to working with people to empower them to have the life that they want. We only get this go one time. We want to make sure that when we do that, we are really living the life that we truly want to live. Now, as mums, the thing about this is, we have this profound and beautiful and inspiring role that we have for our people, our little people in our lives. And it's an important one. The thing that happens is, when we are concerned about their school and their homework, or getting them to the different sports events, or what are they eating? Are we raising these global citizens in the way that we want them to be? The challenge with that is sometimes we can lose ourselves, our whole selves, in that endeavor. I am a very proud mum, and it's one of the things that makes me who I am today. Now, even though it's a big part of my life, it is only a part of my life. And what is at risk, and what I see many, many times, is when we are solely focused on that, we can lose the other part of ourselves. So if we're intentional about the life that we want to create for ourselves, then we can be the best mum that we can be, because we can have goals in that, and as well as look at all the other aspects that make us who we are, and really create our best life. And so that's what I'm up for in the world. That's why I am a coach and facilitator. That's why I do what I do. That's why I started She's Got Drive podcast. And so this session today on living your life by design and really creating the life that you want is with that intention. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to be checking my notes. I want to make sure that I give you everything that I've planned to give you. So I will be at times pausing and just checking my notes, because it's really important to me that you walk away with what I've planned for you. Okay, good. So the place to start when you are living your life by design, when you are creating the life that you want, is to vision the life that you want for yourself. That's the place to begin. Like, what is it that you want? And not what you don't want. What is it that you want? And can you see yourself living that life? Can you visualize yourself having the life that you want, creating it the way that you want it to be? What are you doing? Who are you being? Where are you living? Who are you living with? How are your kids? What's your relationship with your children like? Can you really see it in your mind's eye? So a place to begin is to do an exercise that I'm going to share with you that you can do. And the exercise is a visualization exercise. Now, if you've never done any kind of meditation before, many of you probably have, but if you haven't, you can still do this exercise. So the first thing about this is you're going to envisage for yourself what is the life that you really want for yourself. And it doesn't invalidate the life that you have now. It's just about visioning the future. Okay? So one way to do it is you get a piece of paper or a notebook and have a pen, obviously, and you set it aside. You make sure you're in a lovely, quiet space. You might have some lovely music playing in the background, some gentle music playing in the background, whilst you settle yourself and you bring yourself to some stillness. If you're able to meditate, then you meditate for a couple of minutes. If you're someone who doesn't meditate, then just settle yourself, settle in your chair, close your eyes, and just think of like great things in your life, okay? And just start to breathe. Notice your breathing. Notice where the breath enters and leaves your body. And just focus. You're not breathing in an extraordinary way. You're not trying to do deep breaths. You're just breathing and noticing the breathing. And then after a couple of minutes, then you open your eyes and then you pick up the paper and you start to write, what is it that you really want for yourself and your life? What is it that you want it to look like? You put your pen on the paper and you write for a minimum of 10 minutes. I would recommend that you set an alarm for yourself to do that. And then you write a minimum of 10 minutes. And then when that 10 minutes is up, if you still got something to say, then you continue writing it. The important thing here is you don't edit. It's not bullet points. It's a stream of consciousness. You put your pen on the paper and you keep on writing and you keep going till you hear that alarm go off. You will be amazed what emerges out of you when you do that exercise. You'll have 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 pages, depending how fast you write, of things that are really within you. And it's right there on the edge waiting to come out of what you really want your life to be about. So that is a visualization exercise that I recommend that you do. And it is the start. It's important. When we have a vision for ourselves, what happens is in those moments where we think, oh, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if I know what to do. Oh, I don't know if I feel like taking the actions that I know I need to take. It is the vision that is going to compel you into the future. So you start there. We start with visualizing the life that we want for ourselves. So if you are interested in doing that and you'd rather have it written down somewhere, I do have it written down. Let's see. I do have a free ebook that you can download from my site, shirleymcalpine.com. Let me just show you what it will look like. And you can, in that, there's an activity. My ebook is How to Be a Woman with Drive. But in there's an activity where it's like a front cover like this. Oh, I don't know if you can see the light shining on it. There you go. You can download that book, and this exercise is in that book that will help you to visualize where you want to be. Okay, so that's the first thing. So now you've got a vision for yourself. Now you've got a sense of where you want to be. Now you've got a feeling. It's like you're inspired now, and that inspiration will take you into action. And where is it wanting to take you? So one thing that is important is you start to then think about goals. This is where I want to be. This is where I am. I'm here, but that's where I'm heading, over there. So then how do I start to get there? And how we start together is we set goals for ourselves. We start to evaluate the areas of our life that we want to then focus on, and then we set a goal. So I have something else for you, because this work is important work, and I've created a guide that is called Get Your Goal On, and it's a guide that's going to help you think through the areas of your life that you want to work on. So in the gap between where you are now to where you want to be, you would look at different areas of your life. So a list of areas: your work, your career, your family, being a mom, relationships, your health and well-being, money, spirituality, development, hobbies and fun. Or there could be anything else that, those are some of the suggestions that I'm giving you. And then you think, well, if I focus on 1 or 2 areas, you focus on 1 or 2 areas at a time. You want to win this game that you're creating for yourself. You don't want to set yourself up to be overwhelmed with it. So you focus on, take 2 or 3 areas, 3 max at one time. And you look at those areas and you think, am I interested in thinking about looking at my work, looking at my family, looking at my money, looking at spirituality, looking at my hobbies and fun? And then you start to ask yourself these questions. And they're what I call my goal setting questions. And the goal setting questions are, what goal do you want to achieve in that area of your life? And we need to fast forward and imagine if you at the end of this year, say the end of 2019, and you had achieved that goal, what would your life look like? What would you feel like? What would you be doing that's different? What would other people say about you? If someone was looking at that aspect of your life, if you were on a fly on the wall in conversation with someone, what will you be talking about? So that's the other way of figuring out what are the things that you want to produce for yourself in the year. How are you going to measure success? What does success look like for you? How will you know if you've achieved that goal? That's the third kind of overarching question. And the fourth is, what's your first action? What's your first action? So I do this for myself every single year. I look at my life newly and I create goals for myself. I have a vision for myself that got created a few years ago, and I am enacting that vision. I mean, I update it all the time, but I'm moving towards that vision year in and year on year. And so I do this work for myself. Now, I'm going to share something with you. What I discovered this year was one area that I'm working on is hobbies and fun. Now, it's not that I'm not a fun person to be around. Trust me. I can, party. I can have a laugh. I can be light. But what I notice is when I am getting into my year and I have a lot of work on, it's full on when you're running your own entity, your own business. And being a mum and traveling. I travel a lot for my work. So what starts to fall out is fun. What starts to fall out is hobbies. The things that I love to do, like I love to knit. I love to take photos. I love to make clothes. I make leather bags. It's a recent hobby. So those things, I love to be at the Art Institute in Chicago, which is fantastic. I love going to art museums, but they start to fall away. So this year, that was one of the areas that I'm taking on, and it has already started to produce results. I'm doing a whole day knit workshop. I've been to the art, not just the Art Institute, I went to the Contemporary Art Museum as well. So I am actively looking for the things that's going to support me. I'm knitting a cardigan for the first time. I'm usually a kind of like a scarf knitter type woman. And to get this far in with this amount of work that I've got on my plate, as well as traveling, as well as doing all the things that I need to do as a mum and being the best mum I can be, I'm staying committed to that goal. So that's the difference of having a goal which you're working on versus no goal. And that thing that is still needed in your life, because when I am doing my hobbies, I am calm, I am rested, I'm inspired in a different way. It's using another part of me. And then I bring my best self to being a mum, and I bring my best self to my work. And so it's really an important aspect of my life that I have been neglecting. So now, you've looked at the areas of your life, you have asked those questions of those areas that you've selected, so those goal setting questions. And then the next thing to do is to write them out in a template. Now, I've given you a template on this. This is going to be the goal. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Get your goals on. It's a PDF that you can download, and the link will be below this video. And on the back of it, you see that I put a template for you to fill out your goals, the goals that you want in the different areas of your life, and also then to think about what's your first next action. So, for example, if I'm committed to my hobbies and fun, and I know one of the things that I love to do is to make bags, what I did was I've registered myself into a leather making boot camp. So I'd go to a class in the evenings once a week. What does that mean? It means that I'm more likely to be doing it than ever before. I can work around that with my schedule as much as I can. You know, I've missed one session, I have to say, or two. I've missed 2 sessions out of the 6 because I had to travel for work. But that's more than I would have had I not had this on my goal for the year. I've just registered myself into a knitting workshop for a day that's taking place in Chicago. So it means that you are taking the action to move closer to having the life that you want. And so in you identifying your actions under each of those goal areas, identify the first next action, and you can identify the next 2, in fact, if you want to. But as you accomplish those 2, guess what you do? You create another one. And you keep creating the actions that's going to move you closer to achieving your goal. Okay, so in summary, so far, where are we? We have visioned what we want for ourselves and our life. We have looked at our life right now, and we have identified 2 or 3 areas of our life that we want to work on to move us closer to that vision. And then we ask those questions, the goal setting questions for each area of the life of the life that we're working on. So now we've got our activities, our actions as well. We've got our goals, we've got our actions. We're clear what we want to accomplish. But one of the things that's really important is support. We need to make sure that in order to achieve our goals, that we are being cheered on. Michelle Obama said, choose people who will lift you up. And the reason why things like Weight Watchers works is because there's community. The reason why we have, champions and cheerleaders, and why it makes a difference when we're watching a sport and we're watching our kids play basketball and we are cheering them on and cheering their team on. It matters because it means that they experience that support and they galvanize and they get that energy and they get into action on the court. And that's the same in life. How we get into action on the court is that we are supported. We are empowered by others supporting us. And so your next action is to find someone in your life who's going to support you on those goals that you've created for yourself. And you're going to set up some meetings with those people. So once you set up the meetings with those people, you're going to share what you want as a vision for yourself. You're going to share the areas of life that you want to focus on, and you're going to share your goals and what you want to accomplish. And so that you can get their input. Now, if there's someone who's like, I don't know if you're going to achieve that. Because sometimes people are surprising like that. You think they're going to be supportive and they're not. If they're like that, then say, thank you for your time. And I'm going to just need to find someone who's going to support me, who's going to really support me with really achieving the goals that I want in life. So make sure that you find someone who's going to support and step away from the naysayers. Step away from the people who are going to say, I don't know, I don't think so. Because what happens is when we take on change in our lives, sometimes it shines a light for other people on the areas of life that aren't working for them. And that's, so oftentimes it's not even about you. It's about them. So find your support, find your besties who are going to really support you winning in your goals. And then you arrange some time to meet them, and then ask them to contact you at different points in the year to really give you an additional support. If you get stuck, that's the person who you call. You phone a friend and you phone that friend. So all of that as a guide is on this Get Your Goal On, it's called, your 4-step goalkeeper. And you can get that at shirleymcalpine.com/goalkeeper. If you put that in your browser, shirleymcalpine.com/goalkeeper. And you can download that PDF and work through it. So with the vision for your life and this plan that you've created for yourself, you are more than one step closer to living the life that you really want, living the life that you create, and you want to know it takes courage to make changes in our life, particularly if we're comfortable in the way that we do things, or the people around us are comfortable. So be courageous, take risks, and above all, take action in moving closer to the life that you want for yourself. If you have enjoyed this time with me, you can continue to hang out with me on my podcast, that She's Got Drive podcast, which again is available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. There'll be a link again below this video for you to subscribe and be inspired by all these women sharing their stories of their success and how they achieve success. Some of those women are mothers and speak about the challenges of being mothers as they rise through the various professions that they've taken on in their own lives. And so you can do that. You can also contact me through Instagram at Shirley McAlpine. I would love to get your feedback and find out what you're doing with the visioning and the goal setting and how you're getting on. So DM me through my Instagram account, Shirley McAlpine. I have loved spending this brief time with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for registering in the I Am Mum Summit. It's important that we are really in action on empowering ourselves as mothers. It's one of the most important jobs in the world, isn't it? But it takes something from us. So I just want to say thank you for being the great mums that you are and for everything that you do. I have appreciated the team for asking me to be part of this summit. Thank you so much for being here, and take care, go well and stay well. I hope that you've been inspired to shift gears in your own life. You know, I always love to hear from you, so I'm curious to hear what you got from that keynote that I delivered for the I Am Mum Summit and what you're taking on as a result. If you are taking on your self-care practices, please get in contact with me and let me know how you're getting on. And of course, if you are loving the show, will you rate and review the show on iTunes for me? You can head over to iTunes via your browser and rate and review the show, and share the show with the people that you love and who you think will really benefit from the show. I really appreciate it. She's Got Drive is produced by Cassandra Voltalina. The music is by the awesome all-female band Blonde. The song is called Circles. You can contact me on Instagram at Shirley McAlpine, on my website shirleymcalpine.com, on the Facebook page, She's Got Drive Facebook page as well, and let me know how you're getting on. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. Go well and stay well.